what I try to shoot for when I'm writing a song.
More questions?
Thank you very much. We'll see you later.
Not too quick. I just wanted to ask you where this fits in the kind of highlights of your career, how today fits into that.
You know, like I said earlier, I can remember coming here and seeing, you know, the names of, you know, all these people that, you know, have made such an impact on, you know, the industry that we've been involved in here for 20 years now. So I think, I don't know, I think we sort of treat it as a very important thing, but I think it really hasn't sunk in yet. I think maybe when I bring my daughter here in 10 years,
that's cool.
Show it to her.
Awesome.
You know, it's you know, a full impact will hit me for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty. Right now, it's kind of a little bit surreal having all this.
A lot of flashing
and everything, and you know, yeah, it kind of I feel silly because it kind of choked me up a little bit when I think about when Rob was talking. And when we started with Rob, we were all kids, including him and our manager, Pat and John. We were literally all brand new, shiny people. And, yes. Well, we were, you know, things are a little more edgy now, but just to be able to do something like this, and to be able to have not necessarily ever been like the biggest band in the world or whatever, but to be able to go out and make a living doing something that you lie in your bed as a kid and dream about doing, and then to sit here, you know, all this time later and actually have done it, you know, is pretty pretty unbelievable. Pretty amazing.
Congratulations, man.
Congratulations. Congratulations, Mike.
Hi, I have a question. A lot of people have commented on how much your sound has changed over the years, and how do you feel has changed, and why do you feel it's changed?
We're 20 years older. Things changed, and I came along. It's all
did change
once
the
I
sound
came
of the
along.
band.
Single-handedly saved it.
No, I think it's just Johnny talks about that a lot. He just says that as you grow up, if they sounded like it did in 1987, it would be a little dishonest. So you basically just write them and play music from where your heart is at the time, and things change. Everybody's perspective on life changes. And
Yeah, you know, I mean, there's a child involved in Robbie's life, and he's married. I'm getting married. Mike's been married for a while, and you know, we've gained some friends and lost some friends, and it's like all these things go on in your daily life, and I think that in the music it should be reflected what all these things that happen to all of us. We just have a platform that a lot of people hear, and that's one of the things. Going back to your question, it's like I hope that I can write something that people can relate to and go, yeah, you know what, I feel like that sometimes, you know, and you know, because to me it's like music has always been. There's always those songs. They're these little. They're like snapshots that take you back to a moment in your life, and you know, they sort of fill in the blank spot of your memories. You know, it's an amazing thing to be able to create music.
Hi, so I'm going to loop in two questions here. Where did you get the title Magnetic for your next album? And also, how soon after this one is released will you be working on another?
Well, the title Magnetic came from, I got a phone call from my manager, Pat, and, you know, he's very direct sort of man about things. He's like, we need a title for the album. Try to do one word. And that's not how Pat really talks, but that's how I hear him in my head. He's actually a really nice guy, but the word just kind of popped into my head. I just thought it sounded cool. And then we toyed around with a bunch of other stuff, and then one day I was just sitting in the car, and I'm like, you know what? That's a great title. It's fun. It's fun. And this album Magnetic has been a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to do the album. It was a lot of fun, creating it and producing it and putting it all together. And it's very upbeat and thematically on the album. I think it's a good representation where we are in our lives, where there's a lot of hope and you're a little bit mature enough to enjoy it. And it's just a very up-tempo, fun record. And as far as we're starting a tour with Matchbox 20 in June, and that's gonna go to the end of the fall. And then I don't know what we're doing. I mean, we may start writing another record right away. We may do it while we're on the road. We may take a little time off. We're one of these bands that loves to tour for years.
We love that too.
And if things are right, I don't want to take as long. And we didn't take as long between this album and the last album either. And that was something that I really wanted to be conscious of. I feel like I'm rambling.
I'm right here.
I apologize.
My question is, you guys have managed to do something a lot of bands can't do, have a lot of hits and keep longevity in the business. How do you feel about that, and what do you think the success is to that?
We got a lot of people around us helping us every day, and I contribute a lot of us being around and working it out to Mike and Robbie, because I'm always the guy that wants to forget it, Robbie always finds the good part of what it's all about, and can really put it in its proper perspective of where we are. And and Mike is willing to go with anything. He's just, we're like, hey man, you want to go play on a mountain top in the middle of winter? He's like, sure, I'll be there. And you want to go play in a volcano? Sure, I'll go play in a volcano. These are all true stories. Would you like to go play in a war zone in the Persian Gulf? Sure, I'll be there. And I think that their willingness and their ability to deal with the ups and downs of the whole thing in a very rational, sort of sane way has kept this band together. Really.
Oh, over here. How does it feel to have Iris back on the charts after all these years? And
That's awesome.
Did you see Robbie Kennedy's performance on Britain's Got Talent? And what did you think of it?
You know what? That song, I'm so grateful for that song. I'm so grateful. But at some point in my life, I'm going to be like, come on already. Somebody just listen to another song by us.
We will.
It's such a blessing to have something like that happen. And, it really does show you the power of television and a song that still touches people, I don't know how many years later it's been. How long has it been? It's been like 15 years?
15 years. Well, it's definitely gotten to the next generation, which is interesting, because I think the kids watching Britain's Got Talent didn't hear it the first time around because they were, 3 years old? Yeah. So, yeah.
All I know is I'm pretty sure our next show in the UK is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
It's going to be pretty amazing. I think, I was really amazed by that. And, once again, it's one of those things where it's like, wow, I can't believe this is happening to me. You try to, it's, sometimes things don't go your way. Most things don't go your way. And, to have something like that come along is it's a real gift.
Do we have a final question? Oh, up in the corner.
Do we know what will be the first single released off Magnetic?
The song you've been listening to about 45 times that they're trying to, ingrain into your head. We're brainwashing you with Rebel Beat. That's the first single off the album. And, yeah, that's the first single.
And can you tell me a little bit about how you made that song and where the inspiration came from?
I was I was doing a lot of writing in New York, and I was living there. Inspired by it. It just seemed like at once it made me so happy to see what was going on, and then on the other hand, it gave me this kind of longing feeling, because I was just like, wow, I really, like, I wish I could go and like belong to this group of people who are just, you know, it's obviously a very tight-knit community. And you know, and then just went up to the studio and we were messing around with some guitars and a lot of unbeknownst to me, I do, my guitar tech and a couple of producers have pointed out that a lot of the stuff that I play on the acoustic is very, like, sort of influenced by Jimmy Page's kind of stuff. Not to compare myself to Jimmy Page, because if I can play with 2 fingers, I always play with 2 fingers. But a lot of, I guess, the sort of feel of it is a lot like that. And that's kind of what this song reminded me of. It's just like, it's a song about happiness and hope and finding out where you belong.
Okay, final question.
So far, what we know is Rebel Beat and When the World Breaks Your Heart for the new album. Which direction, those are such dichotomies in regard to emotion. What is most of the album going to be, picking us up, or is it going to be more sentimental?
I think it's going to be picking you up in a very sentimental way.
Good stuff.
That's the best answer we can hope for all day.
That's the best answer I've given all year. I'm going to write that down.
1, 2.
All right. Thank you guys for coming, and let's hear it for the Goo Goo Dolls.